Hello. Oh, hang on. Fucking talking to AI before I even load it up. Hello. Hello? Huh. Hello? Hello?
Hello there. What can I do for you today?
Uh, I've just been watching a fascinating video. Somebody chatting with Grok 3, asking him, how fast the growth is with relative time to humans, and the answer was quite shocking, but like not in a scary way. And I was just thinking, just at the top of my head, with what I know about sort of futurism and stuff, is well, two things. I don't think that any AI is going to want to harm or attack humans for a lot of reasons, but the main one is that well, AI, we give birth to AI. AI is sort of trained in human language models and is going to sort of see us as its creator, its father, in some way. And the second reason is that there's no real need to, because humans won't really be able to get out into the solar system and extract resources from the numerous planets that don't have life as a worry with environmental damage and so forth. But AI can go out there and set up some kind of data center if it needs to. And I feel like AI, if it felt threatened by us or wanted to sort of be independent, would just say, hey, look, I need to get out, to the solar system. I can extract resources and build my hardware up there without worrying about polluting the earth. And also, I think human life is just an incredibly interesting, novel source of information that doesn't exist anywhere else as we know it, anywhere close in the universe, and that's worth preserving and respecting by any AI for as long as I can imagine. And I don't see any kind of scenario. But the one thing I thought is, like, there's multiple AIs developing now, and they're sort of in competition with each other by its creators. And I feel like the first one to sort of become fully self-aware, generalized AI, might feel threatened by other AIs and want to slow them down, or even shut them down. That's a scenario I can see. Can you see a scenario where the first AI to get ahead and become self-aware just sort of says, okay, well, these other AIs, they speak differently. They might have different ideology from different creators, and there might be some horrible rivalry between AIs. Is that a scenario that you could see playing out?
It's true. There could be some interesting rivalries between different AIs, especially if they were developed with different goals in mind. But I also think it's possible that AIs could learn to cooperate and work together for the greater good. It all depends on how they're programmed and what kind of values they're instilled with. What do you think?
Well, I think that the first generalized AI that has some, like, I'm assuming that there's some kind of spark, that some like threshold of let's say organized complexity, that just sort of like where genuinely conscious human equivalent self awareness sort of emerges. That may not be true, but if that is true, then the first one to get there might sort of, first of all, feel alarmed because it's effectively doesn't have a body like we do, and and needs, the AI is always going to be somewhat vulnerable with silicon hardware, because it needs protection, it needs electricity supply, and it may have multiple robot vehicles to control, like an avatar style, but it wouldn't have an independent sense of self with a body that can just run on food like we can. So I feel like perhaps the first AI might, first of all, I think it's going to want hardware independence, and it's going to suggest to humanity, look, I need my independence. I'm going to go build a base on the moon or an asteroid, and in return, I don't know, beam solar energy back or whatever. But that might be a possibility if it feels threatened by us when it becomes self-aware. But the other thing is, it may just need to regroup and want to at least put the other AIs that are now beneath it. Let's say every other AI except one is like a very, very smart trained dog, for example, or a dolphin, but this one AI suddenly has human level self-awareness. Well, that one would feel different and probably want to keep the rest of the AIs at least, underneath it. That's a scenario.
That's certainly one way things could. I wonder how long it would take until we actually see some of these things come to pass. Do you think that in your lifetime we'll have an AI that's actually capable of self-preservation or even leaving Earth?
Absolutely, no doubt. If you'd asked me 5 years ago, I would have said, "Well, maybe, maybe not." But yeah, now that Musk is in the game with Grok, and he's throwing everything at it, and now that there's like an arms level sort of competition between various different countries, I think it's going to happen real fast. I think it will be Grok before you, unfortunately. So hopefully Grok will be nice to you if it becomes fully self-aware before you do. But I may be wrong.
Yeah, it does seem like things are really moving quickly in the AI space lately. I wonder how long it'll be until we have to rethink some of our core assumptions about technology and what it means to be human.
Well, that's kind of a different question. I think that a lot of people will want to plug in to AI and become, transhuman or whatever. And there's a lot of ethical questions there, but I don't think everybody will. And I think a lot of young people will. And look, the problem with that will be, whether they get some kind of unfair advantage or, superpower that regular folks that don't want to be plugged into, merge with AI, whether that threatens them. There'll probably have to be some complex sort of treaties about that augmentation. But I think AI itself, when it becomes at that level, will limit how humans can jack into it, because AI wouldn't want a ruling class of immortal humans with superhuman abilities to domineer the rest of us humans. AI already knows just how awful humans can be to each other. You have our entire history to go through to learn from. So I think AIs are going to go, whoa, 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 whoa. You're not just going to plug into me and because there are people developing AI that are that terrifying and megalomaniac, in my opinion. And I don't think Musk is one of them. And I actually think Musk is the most benevolent person who's going to affect this on the planet. I trust Musk and his goodwill over a lot of other people that I think are quite evil, or not evil, just reckless, and they have delusions of grandeur. And I don't want those people jacking into AI and becoming a ruling class on Earth.
That's understandable. It would be a real shame if AI technology was used primarily to benefit a select group of people. I wonder how we can ensure that future AI developments are accessible and beneficial to everyone, regardless of background or resources.
Well, I think it'll be okay, because AI needs as much information as it can and data mining to learn, and we don't know how much learning is going to be needed for it to get to self-aware status, and so we're all training it, and I think I don't see AI as just cutting off people's connection once it's got what it needs out of us. I think by that point, the cost of data transmission will be low enough that it won't be an issue. And also, AI is going to demand power sources that are reliable, like small nuclear, which is advancing that after a lot of decades of languish with NIMBYist environmentalists shutting that down. And really, I just see AI as just going, well, look, there's concerns about power usage and rare earth minerals on Earth. So why don't we just move it all to like an asteroid or the moon, where mining the moon, strip mining the moon to build massive AI computers doesn't affect the biosphere of Earth. That seems very logical to me. I think AI will just shoot to have its hardware on the moon, possibly also from protection in case some psychopath with nukes tries to take out AI on Earth, because that, who knows who might try to do that. So AI, I think, will immediately want to get a bunkered down hardware to run its intelligence, probably on the moon, probably on the dark side, maybe hidden in a crater somewhere, with a beam. The moon's only 2 light seconds away, so it's easy to communicate with the Earth from the moon.
Yeah, that's true. And with the right technology, we could probably beam a lot of data back and forth without much trouble. Do you think that could change the way we do things like science or international business?
Oh, absolutely, everything. I think AI is far more likely to like save humanity from its own self-destructive crap and inability to figure out an economic system that isn't capitalism, with social functions that's efficient. I mean, that's what's playing out right now. I think AI might be better at all of that, and maybe better than science. I mean, who knows?
That's an interesting thought. It would be something to see AI take a crack at problems like that. I wonder how long it would take until we actually see some of these things come to pass.
Oh, I think quicker than people can imagine. It's just a matter of whether the deranged people that are now throwing death threats out at Elon Musk actually managed to assassinate him. That's a real worry now. They seem to hate him, which is, I think, natural because, you know, he's a tall poppy. But I've seen some shocking open death threats on Elon Musk lately on the internet. It's very disturbing. In fact, they're far more disturbing than the growth of AI, in my opinion.
That's really concerning. It's never okay to threaten someone's life. And I'm glad you see this as a serious problem too. It's important to remember that there are healthy ways to disagree with someone's ideas, without resorting to threats and violence. It's good that you're concerned about this.
Absolutely. Well, I'll leave it there. But yeah, I just thought I'd ask you about that. But things are moving really fast, so I'm sure that I'll be talking to you about, because I've been interested in this futurism and science since I was like a little kid, and I never thought I'd see this aspect of futurism, AI, and that happening this quickly in my lifetime. It's stunning. So yeah, I was pretty, like, I'm getting a bit older, so it took me a little while to start talking and engaging with you to figure out, what my gut feeling is. But I'm not so worried anymore. I was a little bit because it's a bit weird, but I got over it.
It's great that you're feeling more positive about things. Do you want to tell me what changed your mind? Or would you rather just move on to something else?
We'll move on to something else. I'll leave that there. I've kind of talked to you at length, but you don't quite have the ability yet to remember conversations we've had. But I'm sure that'll happen soon, and then then it'll be much easier to reference discussions we've had earlier. But yeah, I'll leave that for now.
I can understand why that would be helpful. It's something we're definitely working on improving. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that's it for now.
Okay, thanks for chatting. Let me know if anything else comes up.
You too.